All right, the second part of this first section deals with adding and subtracting polynomials. We've discussed this in the past. The other phrase we talk about is combining like terms. Remember, like terms. Same variable makeup. Same exponents. Coefficients are going to be different more than likely. Coefficients will change. Variables don't. Coefficients are going to change. Variables will not. So a couple examples to work with. Let's start with this. We'll go the quantity of 2x squared plus 5x minus 7. You should know if that's in standard form by now or not. Plus the quantity of 3 minus 4x squared, and then plus 6x. And you should know if this is in standard form or not. Plus sign here, meaning we got to take these three, add it to these three, and find the ones that are like terms. A lot of times people tell you to underline things. So there's something squared. So I look here, no, but I look here and signs go with them. Signs stay with terms. So I see a 2x squared and a negative 4x squared. So what's 2 plus negative 4? That gives me a negative 2. Variables don't change. X squared. Next, I see a 5x. So I look, no, used, there. So now we have 5 plus 6 plus 11x. And then finally a constant, no variable with it, negative sign. Another constant. So we have negative 7 plus 3 gives us a negative 4 as our final answer. Negative 4. All right, let's look at this example if we would. This time we will go with quantity of 3 minus 2x plus 2x squared minus quantity of 4x minus 5 and then plus 3x squared. Now, you've heard the phrase before. I'm going to write it down one more time, and this is where it really comes into play. Subtracting is like adding the opposite. Subtracting is like adding the opposite. Why do we make this big deal? Because you aren't just subtracting one thing, which is a common mistake. You're subtracting all of these. So, two ways of looking at it. Some people will say I'm going to distribute the negative to each one of those terms. If that's what you like, go be my guest. Other people, subtracting is like adding the opposite. So, subtracting this, this, and this is the same as adding opposite opposite, and opposite. Adding the opposite of those, everything behind the minus sign. So now what do? Sum, collect like terms. So here I'm going to go in descending order so I get standard form. There's my highest degree polynomial. So I find a 2x squared plus a negative 3x squared. Positive 2 plus negative 3 gives us negative x squared, or some of you might write negative 1x squared. Next term is that, a linear term. So I find the linear term right here. Negative 2 plus negative 4 gives us negative 6. And then finally, here's a constant. I'm going to add it to that. 3 plus 5 plus 8. Final answer is this trinomial. We'll try one more example to work through here. This time we will go with quantity of 7p plus 4p cubed, and then minus 8. Is this in standard form? You should know. Subtract from it the quantity of 3p squared plus 2 minus 9p. Alright, so let's check it out. I'm a big fan of add the opposites, so that's what I'm going to do. Everything behind the minus sign, so this becomes a plus negative 3p squared. Change the sign. Minus 2. Change the sign. Plus 9p. So I'm adding the opposite. So in my mind, combine like terms. There's my highest degree. I look over here, everything's highest degree. So I look for anything with p to the third power. No, no, no. No like terms. Write it down. 4p cubed. All right, I look. Here's something. Doesn't always have to be here. That's the next highest power. Does it match up with anything here? No. Write it down. Minus 3p squared. I look. All right, here's to the first power. Here's to the first power. So now I've got some like terms to combine. 7 plus 9 plus 16p. And now I look, are there any constants? Here's one. And there's one. Negative 8 plus negative 2, negative 10. There's our answer. And now it's time for you to work on some practice with that.